Lukashenko, Belarus troops have entered Ukraine. Belarusian troops were forced to carry out a so-called special operation in Ukraine, President Alexander Lukashenko said. Lukashenko, a longtime Kremlin ally, on Thursday, said his forces had entered Ukraine to free Belarusian people truck drivers who were being captured there. State-run news agency Belta cited the president as saying, "It got to the point that these scoundrels began to capture our people there, primarily drivers, that happened to be there at the time. I warned the Ukrainians that we would be forced to carry out an operation to free these people. We carried out such a special operation and freed all our people." The 67-year-old authoritarian leader on Thursday also said his country must be involved in negotiations to resolve the war in Ukraine, and that he expected to hold talks with Russian President Vladimir Putin in the coming days. According to Belta, he told members of the Security Council at a meeting in Minsk, "There can be no separate agreements behind Belarus's back. Since you dragged us into this, principally Western countries, the position of Belarus naturally needs to be heard at these negotiations." Lukashenko claimed Belarus's armed forces are not taking part, and will not take part in the military conflict started by Moscow on February 24, and asserted Belarus had been unfairly dubbed an accomplice of the aggressor. The weekend before the beginning of the war, Lukashenko and Putin sat next to one another observing launches of missiles from the large screens in the Moscow headquarters of the Russian Defense Ministry. Days later, Putin's invasion was launched from both Russian and Belarusian grounds, as Minsk granted its territory as a staging post for the initial attacks. Lukashenko has held on to power after an election widely condemned as rigged in his favor, in which he insists he received 80% of the vote that granted him a sixth consecutive term as president. The Kremlin helped Lukashenko forcibly put down mass pro-democracy protests alleging fraud in the election, and get rid of what was left of the country's political opposition. The Belarusian leader last month confirmed, once again, where he and Putin stand.